Wait. So you also want to visit Macau as part of your Hong Kong trip? If you're wondering if it can be done, well, the answer is yes. Not only is it possible, Macau day trips from Hong Kong are actually quite common. In this video, we'll show you how to do it. Hey there, Wanderer! We are Vince and Yosh. Before we begin, please take the time to subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. Just tap on the subscribe button, ring the bell beside it, and select all so you won't miss any of our future uploads. Macau makes a fantastic day trip from Hong Kong because it's compact and easy to reach. Just an hour by ferry or 2 hours by bus from Hong Kong city center, you can step into a completely different world. You can explore Macau's two sides, the historic Portuguese colonial side and its hyper-modern glitzy side, even in a single day. Before we share with you our detailed itinerary, we first need to lay out the options. You can reach Macau from Hong Kong in 3 ways: by ferry, by shuttle bus, and by cross-boundary coaches. Let's talk about the ferry first. Traveling to Macau from Hong Kong by ferry is the classic way to make the crossing. This used to be the only way before the sea bridge was completed. There used to be 3 terminals where you can catch a ferry to Macau, but these days it looks like most, if not all, public sailings are coming from the Hong Kong-Macau Ferry Terminal in Sheungwan near Central in Hong Kong Island. Not to be confused with China-Hong Kong City Terminal, which is located in Tsim Sha Tsui in Kowloon. I can no longer find any sailings from this terminal and from the Sky Pier near Hong Kong Airport. So to be on the safe side, if you prefer the ferry, just head over to the Hong Kong-Macau Ferry Terminal in Sheungwan. Now that we got the Hong Kong terminal settled, let's talk about the ferry terminals in Macau. There are 2 ports or terminals in Macau that are being used by ferries from Hong Kong. The first is the Taipa Ferry Terminal. This is the newer, larger, and more modern of the 2. It's located near Cotai Strip, so if you're heading straight to mega resorts like the Venetian, Parisian, Londoner, or even Galaxy, this is the most convenient arrival point. It's also closer to the Macau International Airport, which makes transfers faster and easier. Most ferries today are routed here, and the terminal is very well organized with plenty of free hotel shuttle buses, taxis, and public transport options waiting outside. The other one is the Outer Harbor Ferry Terminal located on the Macau Peninsula, closer to the city's historic and cultural attractions. If your itinerary focuses on Senado Square, the ruins of St. Paul's, the Macau Museum, or just walking around the Old Town, this terminal puts you nearer to the action. That said, it's the older terminal, and while it's still functional and well connected by buses and taxis, it feels less polished compared to Taipa. Fewer ferries dock here now, but it's still a good option if you want to start your day right in Macau's historic core. You also need to choose the company you're sailing with. 2 ferry operators connect Hong Kong and Macau. First, Turbojet. This is the more established ferry operator, primarily sailing to and from the Macau Outer Harbor Ferry Terminal on the Macau Peninsula. They also have schedules for Taipa Ferry Terminal, but they are very few and far between. Your second option is Cotai Waterjet, which sails exclusively to Taipa Ferry Terminal as of this recording. But it's slightly roomier and smoother than some turbojet sailings, with options like first-class seating and complimentary snacks on certain tickets. Fares for the economy class for both operators are exactly the same, with weekend and night sailings generally pricier than weekdays. So the cheapest is on weekdays at 175 Hong Kong dollars per person. That's on economy class. You can get tickets at the terminal, but it's slightly cheaper on Klook. You can also get an additional discount if you use our promo code ThePoorTravelerCloak, valid for one-time use only. These are the specific pages on Klook. There's a separate page for Turbojet and another for Cotai Waterjet. We'll add the links to these pages in the description of this video and in the pinned comment too. The journey takes about an hour. Ferries are generally comfortable, air-conditioned, and employs assigned seating system. However, Depending on the weather and sea conditions, the ride can sometimes get rough, especially during windy days or the typhoon season. If you're prone to motion sickness, this might not be the best option for you. If you don't like crossing the sea to get to Macau, how about the bus? Again, you have two options. The first one is the shuttle bus, which will take you from the HZMB or Hong Kong Zhuhai Macau Bridge port in Hong Kong across the sea bridge to the Macau side. But you'll have to get from the city center to the HZMB port on your own, as well as from the HZMB port on the Macau side to your final destination. It's basically a point-to-point bus, but from the Macau port, there are usually free shuttle buses operated by big resorts that you can take to get to the main tourist areas. The shuttle bus fare is 65 Hong Kong dollars during the day and 70 at night. Concessionary fares are available. If you're coming from the city center, maybe the better option for you is the so-called cross-boundary coach. These are also buses run by various private operators providing services from different pickup points in the city center of Hong Kong to Macau. These work with fixed routes and usually have multiple drop-off points in Macau. You'll still need to get off the HZMB port and clear the immigration check on foot, but you'll be boarding the same bus on the other side. Fare is somewhere between 160 to 180 Hong Kong dollars depending on the pickup point and the operator. You'll find a lot of options on Klook, so when booking, pay attention to the pick-up point because some are located not in the city center. But two of the most popular pickup points that are in the downtown Kowloon area are Prince Edward along Shanghai Street and the China-Hong Kong City Terminal in Tsim Sha Tsui. We've tried this before, at least the Prince Edward one, and we had a good experience. Between the ferry and the bus, both Vince and I prefer the bus. Although the journey takes longer, usually 2 hours if coming from the city center, it's generally a much smoother ride without the risk of getting seasick. To maximize the limited time we'll be spending in Macau, let's start early. Wake up at probably 6:45 a.m. and give yourself plenty of time to get ready. Don't forget to bring your passport with you because we'll be crossing borders today. By 8 a.m., take the MTR to Tsim Sha Tsui station. From here, open your Google Maps and use it to get to the China-Hong Kong City Terminal, where you can catch the bus to Macau. You'll be walking for around 10 minutes. Actually, you can also take the ferry from Shongwan, but I know more people get seasick, so let's just use the bus in this sample. But feel free to travel by sea if you prefer. For this itinerary, book this bus transfer in particular. There are many Hong Kong Macau bus options on Klook, but you need to book this one specifically because it has the stops and timings that match our sample itinerary. It looks like this, but make sure that you choose the right locations. For pick-up, choose China, Hong Kong City, and for drop-off, choose Galaxy Macau. The Venetian is okay too, but Galaxy is closer to our first stop. And if you're booking this on Klook, use our promo code the Poor Traveler Klook for 3 to 5% off if you're a new user. On our trip, though, we actually booked the one from Prince Edward because it entailed a shorter walk. But now that I'm looking at their page, for some reason, the earliest departure time available on Klook is 11:50, which to me is too late. But from China-Hong Kong City Terminal, there are earlier options. If you really want to depart from Prince Edward, I think you can also book on the supplier's official website. At the end of the day, choose the pick-up point that is more accessible from the hotel you're staying in. If you don't have a hotel yet, book with Agoda to get a huge discount, up to $100 off. Just visit thepoortraveler.net/Agoda to automatically redeem the discount coupon, or if you prefer using the Agoda mobile app, just tap on the deals page when the app loads and then enter our promo code AGODATPT, all caps. Then search and select a hotel as usual, and upon checkout, enter AGODATPT again in the coupon field to apply the discount. Yes, you have to enter it twice, first on the deals page and another on the checkout page. This will give you up to 10% off capped at 100 USD or 5,900 pesos based on current exchange rate. While you're at it, also redeem AATPT, which will give you up to 30 US dollars off on Agoda activities, including attraction tickets, tours, and transfers. We get credited for every booking too, so when you use our codes, you also help us maintain this channel and create more videos. And you get a discount, so it's a win-win for the both of us. Anyway, let's go back to the video. Be sure to arrive at the pickup location on time. Board the correct bus and off you go. At the Hong Kong-Zhuhai Macau Bridge or HZMB port, you will get off the bus, go through immigration on foot as you exit Hong Kong, and find the same bus on the other side. So listen to the instructions, remember your bus number, and always pay attention. There are plenty of signs at the port, but once you make it past immigration, the signs you should look for are marked cross-boundary coach, not to be confused with shuttle buses, which are an entirely different category. A staff will check your ticket to make sure you're boarding the right bus. Strap in because you'll be crossing the Hong Kong-Zhuhai Macau Bridge, one of the longest sea bridges in the world. Over an hour from here, you'll also be clearing immigration on the Macau side. Then, alight at Galaxy Macau. From there, walk for 12 to 15 minutes to our first stop. We begin our Macau adventure with a food trip here at Taipa Food Street. Officially known as Rua do Cunha, it is one of Macau's most beloved foodie alleys tucked in the historic heart of Taipa Village. This narrow pedestrian lane has been drawing locals and visitors alike for decades. To be honest with you, these are not the cheapest options in Macau. You'll find more affordable versions of these items in other parts of the city. But what makes Taipa Food Street great is you'll find some of the most iconic eats in just one area, with its mix of Portuguese-influenced classics and local Macanese flavors. You can sample snacks and specialties from stall after stall, all within a few blocks. When you arrive, the first thing that will steal your attention is the giant milk tea bottle on the side of the building housing Cafe Vonke. So let's start our culinary crawl here. This colorful cafe has become a major landmark here. Open since the mid-20th century, it's best known for its iced coffee and milk tea, which costs 26 pataka. Yes, Macau has its own currency called pataka. Although some establishments accept Hong Kong dollars on a 1:1 basis, it's best that you have pataka if you're paying cash. But Macau is also increasingly becoming cashless too. Anyway, both drinks are balanced and bold. The coffee was smooth and refreshing, while the milk tea had that classic silky sweetness that pairs perfectly with a stroll down the street. But wait, don't drink it yet. We'll be using it to wash down the solid items we're gonna stuff our faces with, like pork chop bun. Cafe Vonke's pork chop is so big, it looks like it's about to jump out of the bread. It's juicy and peppery, complemented by the crispy pastry. But to be honest with you, our initial intention was to buy one from Cafe Vonke and another at Seiki Cafe not too far away. But after finishing one, we were already so full that we skipped the latter, which I think was a mistake. We should have gone for Seiki's version. So that's the lesson here. If you're doing a food crawl, just order one and share. Leave room for the other stops. I would still urge you to try Seiki Cafe. It is one of the oldest neighborhood cafes in Macau, dating back to the 1960s. It has also earned a Michelin Bib Gourmand designation for its quality and value. Too bad we weren't able to try it. Just a few steps away, the scent of slow-cooked beef innards fills the air at Laude Beef Offal. This spot has risen to fame more recently, earning recognition on local foodie lists and drawing long queues for its richly seasoned beef offal. Tender, hearty, and deeply savory, each bowl offers a taste of Macau's street food culture that is unpretentious, bold, and deeply satisfying. No visit to Taipa Food Street is complete without hitting Lord Stowe's Bakery, the birthplace of Macau's legendary egg tart. Founded by Andrew Stowe in Coloan in 1989, this bakery tarts are crisp on the outside with a creamy caramelized custard center, a perfect blend of Portuguese baking tradition and local flair, and the signature Macau must-try at around 11 pataka per piece. To finish on something sweet and chewy, swing by Mochi Macau for freshly made mochi. While fruit-filled versions are popular, the red bean mochi is widely considered the best here, and we agree. It's slightly sweet, delightfully chewy, and a perfect sweet note after savory snacks. And that wraps up our lunch. Now let's head over to Macau's historic core. And to do that, we need to catch Bus 33 and alight at Almeida Ribeiro OCBC stop. By the way, all buses here in Macau collects a flat rate of 6 pataka. We're now in Macau Peninsula, and it's here that you'll find the old Macau, and at its center lies Senado Square. Senado Square is the beating heart of Macau's historic center and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This wide open plaza is surrounded by colorful pastel colonial buildings and European-style pavement patterns that make it feel like a small slice of Portugal in the middle of Asia. It's a pedestrian-friendly hub where locals and tourists mingle. The square is home to several historic landmarks, including the Holy House of Mercy, St. Dominic's Church, and the Leal Senado building. During festivals, Senado Square comes alive with decorations, street performances, and vibrant markets, giving visitors a real sense of Macau's rich cultural tapestry. As you walk deeper into the inner streets, your senses will be bombarded. The alleys leading off the square are lined with stores selling Macau delicacies from Portuguese egg tarts to almond cookies and traditional meat jerky, many of which offer free samples to tempt passers-by. This makes strolling through the area not only scenic but delicious, a perfect way to taste local flavors as you explore. At the end of the main pedestrian street, you'll find the ruins of St. Paul's, Macau's most iconic landmark. What remains today is the ornate stone facade of a 17th century Portuguese church, which was destroyed by fire in 1835. Despite being a ruin, the intricate carvings, statues, and Latin inscriptions on the facade still convey the grandeur of its heyday, making it one of the most photographed sites in the city. Climbing the steps to the ruins gives you a small museum tucked behind the facade, showcasing artifacts from the original church and monastery, giving context to Macau's colonial and religious history. From here, you can also take in sweeping views of the surrounding streets of the old city, mixing Macau's Portuguese and Chinese heritage in one frame. And that is perfectly captured when you spot the next item on our itinerary. Just next to the ruins of St. Paul's is the small, unassuming Nacha Temple, creating a powerful visual contrast between Chinese and Portuguese religious traditions in one corner. It was built in 1888 and is dedicated to Nacha, a protective deity in Chinese folk religion. And yes, it is also part of Macau's UNESCO World Heritage-listed historic center. Architecturally, the temple is small and understated with a simple stone structure, traditional Chinese rooflines, and incense coils often hanging inside. Despite its size, it played an important role for the local Chinese community, especially during times of illness and hardship, when Nacha was worshipped as a guardian against disease and misfortune. Visiting the temple offers a quiet, reflective pause amid the crowds, and it perfectly symbolizes Macau's unique identity, a place where Eastern and Western cultures have coexisted for centuries, sometimes literally side by side. After the temple visit, walk to Praia de Haxa bus stop and catch bus 26A to Estrada do Istmo Londoner stop. And now, welcome to Cotai Strip. The Cotai Strip is Macau's take on the Las Vegas Strip, a dazzling stretch of reclaimed land connecting the islands of Coloan and Taipa, packed with mega resorts, luxury hotels, and entertainment complexes. Cotai has transformed rapidly over the past decade, evolving into the heart of Macau's modern tourism industry. Beyond the grand facades, it is a shopping, dining, and entertainment paradise. High-end brands line the corridors of resort malls, while countless restaurants serve everything from Cantonese dim sum to European fine dining. Visitors can also catch spectacular shows, gondola rides, and light displays. all part of the immersive, over-the-top Cotai experience. But since we only have very limited time, we'll be making just 3 stops tonight: London, Paris, and Venice. Well, sort of. Let's start with London. This is the Londoner Macao. It is clad in classic British architecture, mimicking the Palace of Westminster and Houses of Parliament. It also has red double-decker buses and a miniature Big Ben Tower, giving you a distinctly London look. At the main lobby, you'll find this fountain, and from here, you could get lost in mini London and take only selfies at the many UK icons scattered around, including this double-decker bus and the statue of Sir Winston Churchill greeting everyone at 10 Downing Street. You can also hop into this taxi for what they call Black Cab Escape, where you'll get to enjoy a virtual drive with David Beckham. These are just some of the many attractions inside. We were told there's also a changing of the guards, but we didn't get to see it. All these can be accessed for free, by the way. There's also the Harry Potter the exhibition, but this one collects an entrance fee, and we don't have time for that on this trip. For now, let's cross over to Paris. This is the Parisian Macao, and the centerpiece is a half-scale replica of the Eiffel Tower. Every 15 minutes from 6:15 p.m. to midnight every single night, the iconic landmark is covered in dazzling lights, creating an awesome show that bathes the surrounding area in various colors. Okay, hold on. The tower has 2 observation decks, one on level 37 which charges 75 pataka per person, and the other on level 7 which is open to everyone free of charge. And for us, we decided to just stay on the ground, admire it from afar, and snap countless photos with a vibrant structure as backdrop. And right next door lies Venice. The Venetian Macao is one of the largest resorts in the world and brings Italy's romantic Venice to Cotai. With indoor canals, gondola rides, and replicas of Venetian landmarks, it's a feast for the senses. Inside, you'll also find Team Lab Supernature Macau, one of the best Team Lab branches that we have experienced. The resort also features luxury shopping and over 30 restaurants, including a food court. And yes, this is where we'll have dinner. Prices here are much higher than usual food court fare though. If you still have time to spare, walk around the mall, maybe shop. Just make sure that you go to the bus pickup point at 8 p.m. Yes, you will be boarding the bus back to Hong Kong here at the Venetian at 8:30. You can book this bus in advance on Klook, specifically this ride, because this has an 8:30 p.m. pickup at the Venetian, which is perfect for our sample itinerary. In the list of options, choose Macau Venetian Hotel in the departing point and choose Hong Kong Prince Edward as destination. Again, just like earlier, you'll need to pass through both the Macau and Hong Kong immigration inspection, so have your passports handy. You should arrive in Prince Edward area in Kowloon by 11 p.m. From here, walk and take the MTR to your hotel. And there you have it. That's our sample Macau DIY day trip itinerary if coming from Hong Kong. While it's definitely possible to see Macau's key attractions in a single day, I still strongly encourage you to return and stay longer. In our sample day trip itinerary, we only barely scratched the surface. We basically just blitzed through the city, hitting the highlights and moving on. Macau is compact, but it's rich in culture, history, and unique experiences, and the single day doesn't do it justice. Spending a night or two here allows you to explore at a more relaxed pace and really appreciate the city's blend of Portuguese and Chinese heritage. There's a lot more to see beyond what we've shown you in this video. It also has peaceful city gardens like Cotai Square and Hardim Lu Lim Yok, interactive attractions like Team Lab Supernature, Harry Potter the Exhibition, Martial Arts Arena and Grand Prix Museum, and historic sites like the Ama Temple and Gia Fortress. Or you can go food tripping. There's also a thriving food scene beyond the usual tourist spots, from homegrown family restaurants to exquisite fine dining territory. Essentially, a day trip will give you a taste, but staying longer lets you experience the full flavor of Macau. What destinations would you like us to cover next? Or if you simply want to say hi, just drop them in the comment section below. Thanks to everyone who leaves a comment. We really appreciate it. Please keep them coming and we'll read some of them in our next videos. Be sure you're subscribed to this channel, like this video, and remember, plan smart, travel safe, and make every trip worth it!